We just watched episode 2, season 1 of Gotham, titled Selina Kyle. And what have we learned? Well, Selina Kyle is a magnet for witnessing murders, apparently. The honeymoon is over between Gordon and Bullock, and never call Oswald Cobblepot Penguin. And that was just in the first 5 minutes. I'm Chad Perkins, and this is the Gotham After Show. Welcome to the Gotham After Show. I'm Chad Perkins, here again with our resident Gotham and Batman experts, David Cottingham, Cory Cooley. Guys, episode 2, Selina Kyle. What a difference. I mean, the pilot we all loved. This took it to a new level. We like to start out just by getting your all's initial reactions of the episode. Dave Cottingham.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it. No, great episode. And actually, it helped that we actually watched this one together.
Yes.
So
That's
yeah, it was sweet. We had popcorn in the middle and everything.
You have a little bit more space between us.
One drink, 2 straws.
Yeah, exactly. No, we watched it and it was I'll tell you what, it was really good watching it, but even driving over here, getting ready to do the show, we talked about it more. Even made it even better the way we kind of dissected it. So
yeah,
we're going to do that here too. It's awesome.
Yeah, Cory.
Wow, a lot different than the pilot. Dare I say I like it better than the pilot, but it's hard because the pilot was necessary. There's a lot of setup. This episode, I felt like I was watching where the show was going. I think this is how the show was going to be. You know, whereas people I feel like said, "Oh yeah, boom boom, character here, here's a character, here's somebody else." This was, now we got a bad guy to, besides the Wayne.
Right.
But so it's, I think we're starting to see Gotham take shape here.
Yeah, well, I mean, the producers themselves said the pilot episode was purposefully overstuffed because you had to meet all these people and there's all this exposition and so on and so forth. So yeah, I really do feel like this is more the feel of what Gotham, as far as a TV show and a series, is going to feel like. But let me ask you guys this, now that we've seen the pilot and, let's call it, a normal episode, who do you feel like, put yourself in the position of a TV executive, who do you feel like this show is best suited for? Someone who doesn't know the Batman mythology, who's going to see this as maybe a crime drama, police procedural, who is, because what I'm getting at is the writers of Gotham have all this material to pull from, all these storylines that they can pull the best villains, the best storylines from to write for an audience who has no fanboy in them, or is it best suited for guys like us who know the Batman mythology, who are going to get every little nuance when he says Forth and Grundy, you're like, ah!
Yeah, exactly.
But fanboys can be the most harsh. So real quick, just what do you think, who is this show best suited for?
Well, I think personally, I kind of talked about this off camera with you guys, is I really think that the executives are just putting out a cop drama, and it just so happens to be Gotham. It just happens to be characters that we know from the comic books. Because if you think about it, and this kind of solidified my theory, is that you had a normal, not normal, but I mean you had a crime, episode crime that happens, which is the kidnapping of these kids.
Yeah.
And these kind of, Doug and Patty, who are these snatchers that aren't necessarily comic book characters.
Right.
And then you have Gordon investigating him and showing, but the underlining stuff that's happening behind the scenes are still Fish Mooney and Falcone, and then you have Bruce, obviously. So there's that backstory behind now. It's kind of, and Penguin is kind of in the background now, where the forefront.
Don't call him Penguin.
Well, no, yeah, but at the forefront you have you have this crime, and I think that is for the average viewer. You have to have the average viewer just connect some way where, it's technically it's like what's out there now, CSI or an NCIS. I watch Hawaii Five-0, and that's what they do. Is every episode there's a crime that's happening, but there's a backstory that's happening in the background that's the main storyline. Right. So I really feel like that's what they're doing here, and they just happen to pick Gotham and Batman as the kind of the cover.
Cory, agree, disagree?
Well, as for the type of show, I would say a little bit of both. And I will speak from experience because my wife was actually watching the show. Mm-hmm. She hates superhero stuff, anything like that. And she will admit, she goes, she even said, I admit that I was not what I was expecting. She said, there is kind of she likes, real life in the sense of like those cops, like dramas and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I'll say a little bit of both. Like you said, there's little things, and Dave, I do agree with you. Whereas, it really throws you into the cop and the detective police officer world where, look, yeah, you have this big case you're working on, but you still got to do your job. So there's still other things going on. Right. Mm-hmm. So you can't. We know there's that little. They're dropping little hints like Cat. Now we call her Cat.
Cat.
And I'm probably once again I'll say Cameron. She did a phenomenal job this episode.
Yes.
Not to mention Donald. Since we did mispronounce the last time. Good. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. But did an amazing job with his. I mean, you're seeing everybody change. But yeah, I agree. I think it's a little bit of both worlds, nerd and cop drama.
There you go.
To tie it in a little bit.
Yeah. So to answer, I think they're trying to hit a broader audience by doing that,
and they're succeeding clearly.
And that's a smart play.
It has to be. Obviously. I think you have to in order to survive. Yeah. Absolutely.
And it's worked so far. The ratings, I think 8.4 million viewers, and it's very much a DVR show. They do something called Live Plus 3, which is people who watch it live plus 3 days later on your DVR, and that boosted the number up considerably. So
over 10, I think. Right?
Yeah, so people are watching it live as I did, and I was tweeting out and with millions of other
people. And what a harsh time slot. To be honest.
Right.
On Monday night.
And to be pulling what they're doing, it's pretty remarkable, awesome. Yeah. Before we get into Selina Kyle, the episode that is, we do want to mention a little contest, a little giveaway that we're doing right now that we cooked up here, and it happens to involve this little book right here, The Dark Knight Returns. Are you getting this, camera one? Dark Knight Returns. If you would like to win said book, in my hot little hands right here, all you have to do is follow the show in any and all ways that you can. In fact, if you follow it in all ways, you get entered that many times. So follow us on Twitter at Gotham After Show. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Gotham After Show. You can subscribe to us on YouTube. It's actually youtube.com/21 Network, because we are a part of the 21 Network, a collection of podcasts and videocasts for the fan in all of us. And lastly, we have a new Skype that you can become our friends on Skype. Look for, wait for it, Gotham After Show. That's right. Very good. So just add us, Gotham After Show on Skype. We will friend you up. Then you can text us comments. You can send us voice comments or video comments, which we can actually play here on the show and answer your questions or share your comments with the other Gothamites out there. So all through the month of December, if you do any of those things, you are automatically entered to win this puppy right here from the Gotham After Show. Because, hey, how about that?
Yay!
And we're doing that first because everyone has to own that book.
Yes.
That is a must-have for Batman.
It's an assess. It should be...
So you're not getting that copy. That's my copy, actually.
Well, okay, so not that actual
You're going to get that. You're going to
get one that I wasn't all like... Or maybe you want that one. If you do, Twitter, Chad Perkins21 on Twitter.
I'll sneeze on it for you.
Yeah. And okay, so anyway, to the episode, Selina Kyle, which we finally, later on, actually got to hear her talk.
Yes.
Kat, that is. I thought, Kat's got her tongue again.
Yeah.
But no, we finally got to hear her talk. But kind of starting out with the earlier events, I want to ask you guys, what do you think it was like to grow up in the Cobblepot household?
The Cobblepot household?
Mm-hmm.
Probably very... I mean, not to say that, it was Carol Kane that is your mom. So
that would be awesome.
It would be awesome, but I mean, she to me, she's Scrooged and Granny from, I think it'd be kind of Addams Family-ish almost.
For me, Transylvania 6-5000. That was the first movie I ever saw her in. That's a very obscure movie, but I don't know if either of you seen it.
No.
Oh my
no, I can't
gosh.
say that I have.
Yes, Jeff Goldblum.
Oh really?
Is in it, I do believe.
Jeff Goldblum.
It's
Happy day.
I like some Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, he's good. He's always like, yeah,
he does that thing.
life finds a way.
Tiny imperfections on your hand.
Anyway,
We're veering.
We are. Tangent.
Great performance tonight from Carol Kane. Gertrude.
Sure.
Gertrude. Cobblepot.
Cobblepot. Something like that, yeah. Can we just do the rest of the show? Just do it,
variations of that. But obviously, there's almost a psycho-esque, I think, relationship, mother and son type of thing happening. Did you guys get that vibe?
Like Ray Finkel's house.
I did kind of get that vibe. I felt like I got the, and actually I was thinking about that the other day for some reason. I was thinking of him knocking on the door and saying, I'm looking for Ray Finkel and a clean pair of shorts. But no, I think that's kind of, I don't think what they say, the apple falls far from the tree. I think that psychoness kind of comes from her a little bit. So
unhealthy,
I think that was a good welcoming scene to his background a little bit, even though we didn't see him in it. It was
just by the way she dressed.
Yeah.
And she commented on the way that he dressed.
Correct.
Always yeah, she did. Yeah.
Well, do you think her motherly intuition is on or off? Because she said, oh no, if something was wrong, I would sense it. Now, he isn't dead, like some people are believing, but he did just swim however far, and his foot is all messed up, and now he really does walk like a penguin.
Yeah, he does.
And all that. But so do you think her connection is as she says, or is it off?
I think you could maybe say Gotham's the girl. I don't know, because he's like, Gotham needs me. He has some kind of weird infatuation.
He says he's clever like that.
Yeah, he has some kind of infatuation with Gotham itself. So I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know,
and Mama Penguin said it was a girl.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Dave, how are you feeling?
I don't know. That's hard. That's interesting. I never thought about that. But no, I think it's on. I think she obviously the cops, the major crime unit there, guys there, Montoya and
Major
Allen.
Crimes.
Yeah, Major Crimes. They weren't buying it. They were just it was funny how she put it. What she said, like, he was a good snitch.
Yeah.
She was upset. I think she's kind of. I think she was more or less just being there to foreshadow, obviously, which we already know that he survived, but she's kind of telling them that he's still alive, even though they don't want to believe it.
Mm-hmm. What did you guys think of Fish Mooney getting moody? She really blew her top there after she had to swallow her pride and take her comeuppance.
Yeah,
I think she was fantastic in this episode. They released which we may talk about later, but they released a new trailer today as well.
Yes.
That kind of showed more of the season.
Season 1 trailer. Yeah, full season.
And there were some great scenes in there with her, and some of them were in this.
Right.
Yes. They were basically in this.
Tonight, yeah.
And I think she stepped up a lot in this episode. I think Jada did fantastic, and I think we're going to see more villainous tendencies from her than we anticipate. I think she's gonna step up her game a little bit more and get her hands a little more dirty. And what a great scene with her and Falcone. I think that was a fantastic scene actually in this episode.
Yeah. It definitely brought that. It took, for a second I didn't feel like I was almost even watching anything like I had mentioned earlier, like anything about Gotham it just seemed like a really intense crime moment, a crime show moment with a mob boss and like a lesser mob boss. And it was, I thought, it is kind of a scene you feel like you've seen 1,000 times, but it with this, it was just different because, you knew you were watching Gotham and you really haven't seen this back and forth, I think, with criminals before. So it's interesting.
How does Don Falcone get even with you? Well, he takes the guy that you're stooping on the side and he has him beaten right there in front of you.
Yeah, because you were watching. It's like, what's he looking at? What is that guy looking at?
Yeah.
And so Falcone picked up on it, and really let her it was just so cool. I mean, you know, you want to say classic Falcone, but like we don't even really know him.
That is so.
But like we
Falcone.
know his type of character, and it was interesting. And then preceding that, you mentioned Jada stepping it up. I mean, that was really cool when she was like, "I'm gonna kill him with bare hands and my teeth," and you saw her butch in the background. That Drew Powell. Like he was like looking out like, geez, but then he said something like, "And I'll be there holding your shoes."
Yeah,
and then
that was great.
That was cool.
Yeah,
because you were kind of like, because his face was kind of like how you were like, geez, like she's being real dramatic about it.
Yeah. Can we talk about Alfred for a second? Because we didn't really hit on Alfred.
Yeah.
In our pilot show,
right?
Little different take on Alfred. He keeps yelling at Bruce, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry," because it's a tough role. He's the butler, but he's also this kid's guardian now.
Right.
So he's raising him, but he's also like, "Oh, you're my boss, Master Wayne," basically. But
has he's never called him Master Bruce yet, right?
Oh yeah, Master Bruce. No, I think he did when he was on the roof. He said, "Oi, Master Bruce, get your ass down here." I believe. I
think he may have.
Right?
Yeah.
Twitter. I know if I'm wrong, you'll tell me. Like, now. Sorry.
That's good. No, hey, no, that's good. We want that. We want, if we're mispronouncing anything,
hold
by
us
all means,
accountable.
Yeah.
All means.
By all means, let us know.
Yeah, but tonight he sought out Jim Gordon, which is and you knew that the Wayne family, what's left of them, and I'm including Alfred in the Wayne family, would get intertwined, of course, with Gordon, this being Gotham. But seeking him out in the second episode, but let me ask you this: how does Jim Gordon know when tea time is? It's like, tea time then? It's like, yeah, tea time.
I noticed that they never actually set a time. It's like, do I turn around and ruin his cool moment, or
who do I know that's British that I can call? When's tea time? I don't know. But
maybe you spent some time in England or something while he was.
While he was in the.
Maybe.
We'll just let the script run its course.
Deployed. But what did you think about the scene with Jim and Bruce there at the house, where he's again kind of imparting some more knowledge on him? Think this is something we're going to see often?
Yeah, I tell you what, he's probably the one character I'm a little confused with.
I'm very confused.
Now, who are you speaking of?
Alfred.
Okay.
Because I love, even this episode too, I love what they're doing with Bruce. I love the fact that he's just, you can tell he's, especially in this episode, he's testing himself, but he's doing it in a way where he knows he's still sane, whereas Alfred's kind of feeling like, oh, he's abusing himself. He's going crazy. I need your help. Mm-hmm. But he's not. He's just kind of, he's kind of psyching himself up, to see what he can do. It's really neat how I think that's a pretty cool aspect if we're going to see that. Where because we had talked about it, I don't want, at least right now, I don't want Gordon to be the guy that creates Batman.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I hope it's not Gordon that sits there and says, maybe you need to be somebody that dresses up and
symbol.
Exactly. I like the fact that if Bruce is doing it himself, and then gets the idea, well, okay, I need to go away and see what's out there and train, blah blah. But Alfred, I guess every incarnation of him, from the books to the movies, it's always been, he's still always the butler. I'm just watching out for you, and I will do whatever you ask me to do. But it seems now it's like he's trying to be the father.
Yeah, well, he obviously, and we saw this in the Dark Knight trilogy, he obviously loves him.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah.
But again, it's still Master Bruce. It's not. Quit doing that.
Please say that in a British accent if you're going to say it.
Master Bruce. I don't even know if I'm doing it right.
Never mind.
I kind of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Never mind. Master Bruce.
Was that for Austria?
Get down. Get down, Master Bruce.
Awesome.
It's not a tumor, Master Bruce.
I'm not British. I'm Asian. Jeez, what do you want me to do?
Oh, my God.
Okay,
That's good
so
stuff.
anyway. No, I think this is just to me, it's very confusing.
Yeah, I don't know how we can continue on.
Sorry, a little red in the face. Master Bruce.
You can't do it either.
Master Bruce.
Get down, Master Bruce. Come with me if you want to live.
Do a British one.
Oh, well, now I
That's
can't.
now we're thinking-
Now I just do the beat. Master Bruce.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny.
jeez.
Pertwee's it's a whole different. It's not a Alfred, voice is
Right,
always
totally.
Master Bruce. It was always real, real calming. This one's more of like a drunker English, like
Master Bruce.
It is more Irish,
kick
I
you
think,
off.
yeah.
He's like, I am in the pub and I'm screw you, little boy. And,
Yeah.
and it's
You stupid little
but
boy.
he's
I'm
play-
sorry, I
well,
love
he's
you.
playing mother and father
Yeah.
to this kid
And butler.
and butler.
And
So he's like,
friend and-
you stupid boy. Oh God, that's okay. You know,
Yeah.
exactly like you
Yeah.
were saying. And it's really got me really confused because he just is not acting like any other Alfred. Because I think of Michael Caine. It's like, sit your scrapes in these halls. And it's he clearly.
I failed you.
Yeah.
I failed you.
You got to do Michael. I mean, there's a whole good bit on. I think it's called "The Trip" with I can't remember who the two actors in it, but they do great Michael Caine impressions.
Fascinating.
And you always have to say Michael Caine. Michael Caine. I am Michael Caine, and I want to say that Master Bruce.
Master Bruce.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah. So, like I said, Sean Pertwee's doing something different with it. I'm keeping an open mind with it because it's. Could be good.
Yeah.
Could something's
it's
something's
strange.
going on there.
It's strange.
Something's-
I mean, it's
something
definitely
different,
interesting so far.
Right.
Yeah, it has my interest.
And he did leave a cool kind of open, and there were two kind of little innuendos that I saw for Batman, kind of, where was the one that has to do with Alfred was him going, his parents wanted him to make his own way, and they trusted him to do whatever he kind of had to do. And don't quote me, but he kind of said it to where like, okay, so when he chooses to be Batman, Alfred has to be okay with it. Like,
Right.
you know, there was something he said specifically that alluded to that. And then also I think right after that, he said, Gordon, that sounds like an appetite for disaster or something, So that was
Right,
kind of,
right, right.
Yeah.
so that was kind of cool.
Yeah. I think what he's really concerned about is Master Bruce listening to heavy metal now.
And drawing
And drawing
screaming
disturbing
bloody
pictures,
faces,
yeah.
or whatever that was about,
Right.
yeah. Yeah,
This
Skrillex.
metal music.
I like
So, surprise, the Dollmaker. The Dollmaker is brought up
Yes,
in
wow.
this. I'm going to turn to you guys for a little bit of, now this of course won't apply to Gotham, the TV show, but give us some DC knowledge on the Dollmaker. What's his deal?
Well, there's been several incarnations of the Dollmaker. Not very popular either. He first appeared. His first appearance was in a Plastic Man.
It was a Plastic Man villain.
He was a Plastic Man villain that controlled dolls, robotic dolls.
Mm-hmm.
Second incarnation came in Supergirl, and again he controlled robots. Again, type.
Yeah, like just
Version.
dolls and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, robotics.
I think he explode, like.
Right. And then I didn't know, but from the animated series, but you said
Right, which-
it was kind of almost like
I think
that
it was
incarnation.
Dollmaker, but then there was also Toy Man, which I always confused because they got him. I think at one point they actually, in the comics, went to Toy Man saying, "What are you
Yes.
doing?" And it wasn't him. It was Dollmaker. I think
Toy
it was,
Man
was
is
the
more-
Supergirl.
Yeah, there's a Supergirl
Right.
with Cat Grant.
That
Mhm.
But
variation.
but the Toy Man is more explosives.
Yeah,
you know,
he's
and
more
stuff
of like
that. But the
Wind up,
latest
yeah.
incarnation, which is really cool, happened with the New 52 launch in 2011. If people followed the comics and the big event called Death of the Family with the Joker, Dollmaker was the one responsible for cutting off the face of the Joker.
Mm.
So, and his name is Barton Mathis, and according to the history of his current history, is he had a father, Wesley, that was a cannibal. He killed and ate people.
Yeah.
And during the comic books, Barton, as a young kid, saw his father doing these things, and eventually saw him getting killed by young Jim Gordon. Therefore, he takes up the mantle as the Dollmaker by wearing his father's skin on his face.
Well, there you go.
So, are we gonna go into this now? Because
Let's do it.
There's a whole
Well,
big discussion that we had. So anyway, that's the history of the Dollmaker.
okay. Maybe we'll save that for a separate YouTube video because we've been talking about doing this having little asides here. We get a little deep into the DC universe. It might not.
Well, this kind of what we talked about kind of goes into what's in the trailer as well.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about the trailer later, actually.
Oh,
Okay.
good.
We're going to save it to the end of the show.
I think there was a big misconception about one of the.
Correct. I agree.
Yeah, we're going to save that to the end of the show because the season 1 trailer is a little spoilerific. So I know a lot of you have probably already seen it, but if you're wanting to be surprised because it does reveal some villains, some new villains, we're going to talk about that at the end of the show just in case you don't want to hear about it.
Okay.
We're saving it for the end of the show, so let's just do that. So right now, though, let's go to this week's Where's the Joker? I guess is what we're calling it.
Yeah.
Sure.
So this week's Joker appearance will be told to us by Cory Cooley. Go.
Oh, geez. Well, I at first really didn't even catch it because it didn't jump out, and Dave brought it to my attention.
It wasn't like a kick to the nuts?
It wasn't, well, wah, wah, wah. But, yeah, apparently, and we went back and I actually watched it, and if this had to be one, this is one of them, where a guy, Bullock, I guess, steps on this guy's shoe. The guy stands up. He's in a purple suit. And he says, "Watch it, you clown," or something to that effect. And he knees him in the nuts. And that's the end of it.
Yeah.
In the
Shifts
nuts,
over,
because
and-
the Joker is nuts.
yeah, there you go. That's actually kind of like the original Batman. It's like, see? The C. It's
See,
as in
see,
Catwoman. Yeah,
Catwoman.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, God.
You pet a cat.
Yeah.
You have a pet cat. Cats eat cat food. They're
Yeah.
at a restaurant.
Exactly. I mean, it was yeah.
course.
That's how it was, and it was
Yeah.
really ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's all I
That's
saw.
the only thing we saw.
Okay. If you guys picked up on anything else, make sure to tweet us that and hashtag Gotham After Show, hashtag Joker sighting, or whatever you want. Something about the Joker.
Yeah.
All right, now so we're going to go to a viewer question, actually, that came to us on the YouTubes from Sergeant Murica. And Sergeant Murica says, "Do you feel that the show did a good job explaining why Gotham is cut off from the other burbs around it? I didn't know until the New 52 that Metropolis wasn't just across the river. Or was just across the river." Guys, what do you think? Great answer.
Yeah.
Now,
Did it do a good job of
did it
separating it? Is that what you're saying?
explaining why Gotham is cut off from the other burbs
Oh.
around it?
I don't think it's even really.
Gotham is, at least in every incarnation that I know of, it's always almost completely, it's not an island, but it's almost completely surrounded by water. It's basically tucked in a bay.
Peninsula?
Almost. It's not so much, but
Wait,
it's...
what? No, that's geology.
Geography.
Geography. That's what it says.
But it's not like, the water that you see technically isn't the ocean. It's, in a bay area, and then it's that, and then usually across the bay sometimes is Metropolis. Sometimes Metropolis might be up the coast a little bit, so it's not directly in, eyesight line. Because it is normally it's about an hour or 2 hours away. So it's not like it's like us driving to Cincinnati or something like that. It's not.
So it's never been like definitively defined where it is.
It has not. It jumps around, and then you look at like Smallville. They put Metropolis in Kansas, and
No, nothing. It's all
yeah.
like-
Yeah.
Sometimes Metropolis or Gotham takes the place in New York. So it's different. Right now, though, New 52 wise, it seems like they have Gotham kind of on Jersey, like tucked inside of Jersey a little bit, and then around the state on the Delaware side is where Metropolis is where they seem like they're placing in a New 52. So I think it's time will tell with this show if they start mentioning Metropolis or other cities.
Yeah.
Hopefully they do.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother discussion if you're going to get into introducing other characters, other
Right.
heroes.
Yeah.
I
But
wonder if that's where the Dollmaker is. You never know.
that's right.
Well, I was kind of hoping that we would learn where the Penguin washed up.
Right.
right.
'Cause he looks like in the previews he's working somewhere. Like he's got like a busboy outfit on. So Or maybe they'll say, maybe they'll mention. That'll be interesting.
I meant actually to go back and look at the license plate of the truck to pick them up to see if I could see anything on that front license plate.
That's
guys
good
out there in the internets, did anyone pick up on that? If you did,
on the line.
Yeah, let us know. Call us on the bat phone right there. We also had one come to us via the Twitter, and this is from Vault Dweller in 7. What is Fish Mooney going to do to stay in shape now that her fitness equipment has been broken by those thugs?
Well, yeah, that's true.
And kids, if you don't understand, the fitness equipment she's referring to is that waiter who got the crap beat out of him.
Yeah.
Bartender? Yeah, bartender. Yeah, totally different. So what is she going to do?
Well, it seems like in her
Kanye's workout plan. I don't know.
Pilates?
Pilates, you know, CrossFit's really big right now.
CrossFit.
Yeah, she'll find one. She'll find. I mean, it's Fish Mooney. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
She's just
True. She'll just beat her abs.
She probably had a couple
submission.
of workout equipment.
Oh.
But see, that's. I mean, that was just such a funny, because he was like a lover, as if like I don't know, she normally has one, and she was like, I guess I think she may have known what he was gonna do a little bit, and she tried to throw it off.
Really?
Like, maybe something. I mean, I think she knew she didn't want to give him too much of her information because she was like, you know, almost protecting him in a way. It's. I mean, you know, it seemed because she was
with her. I feel like she's trying to play everything close to the vest.
Yeah.
You know, not let Falcone know anything personal about her.
So she was like, if you had, I mean, by work, you know, means to work out exactly.
Right.
Do you mean lover? So. I don't know. Good question, man. I don't know what to, I mean, it kind of caught me off guard, but I don't know. She can, you know.
Yeah, we're gonna. I think Dave has some comments actually. He's gonna give us. Thank you guys for writing us and those questions. Thank you for that. You're entered in the contest. How about that? I mean, you may already be following us, but obviously you are. But you're in there.
You're in the contest,
and you get a gold star that we won't send, but you have it.
1,000 gold stars for you.
10 points to your house.
Yeah.
Throw a little Potter in there. How about that?
See, just some comments from Twitter. We had Dylan Rogers at drogers1991. He said, Gotham After Show, thanks for the follow. Love the show so far. Huge fan of Miss Jada Smith, at Jada Smith. She is fantastic. Love the show. This comes from at Comic Kiblitzer, Comic Ki Blitzer, at Gotham Show. Not a huge fan of the Barbara Jim storyline so far, but I'm totally feeling Selina Fish in Montoya.
Big Montana.
Yeah.
Hashtag that anymore.
Hashtag Ladies of Gotham.
Ladies of Gotham, and I replied to that and said there should be a real non-housewives of Gotham, and he was like, no, it's more like Charlie's Angels.
No, you said they should put out a calendar.
Yeah, I did say a calendar first, which I'm still behind.
Yeah. I can dig that.
Anyway, those are comments.
Fantastic.
Thank you for sending us your questions and comments. Make sure to do so on Twitter by following at Gotham After Show.
One more from...
and we got one more.
From King Darkheart, who is Russell Berger, a big fan of the network of ours. He says, Gotham is killing it. It was great. It's reminding me of how Arrow gets better each episode.
True.
Hashtag Stay Frosty.
Ah, yes.
Very
Let's
good.
keep that hashtag going. I love that. Stay Frosty.
Frosty.
That is so good. But I wanted to touch on Barbara Keene a little bit. Tip your waitresses. I'll be here all trying to be here all week. Looks like Barbara's kind of wearing the pants in the whole Barbara Jim relationship there, and she wasn't wearing very much pants tonight. But he's like, no, don't call, put the phone down. You're calling, aren't you? You called.
You did it. It's okay.
Thank you. You're okay.
Don't do that,
but don't do it next time. You're doing it again, aren't you? Okay. Not a third time.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, fine. A third time. Yeah, you know, we already got a comment. Not a big fan of that relationship. How do you guys feel about it?
There's not any room for it for it right now. I mean, we'll see something later on, I think, but it's interesting because now that we watch it, we know she's got a secret, so we're watching it with knowing that. So that's really all there is to, I mean, besides, because like I don't see any reason why besides her calling them and doing that, was there any reason for that scene? You know
yeah,
what I mean?
obviously it served that purpose.
So, but there is, to justify it, there is that feeling like, looking at her, you're like, she's keeping something from him, and she needs to tell him, and she's not as noble as she's the right thing to do, because the right thing to do would be to tell him everything she's done, and so I don't know, you got that going on while you're watching that. So it's not a, yeah, I mean, I agree, it's nothing right now, but I think it's going to be something later.
Yeah, I know some people, their criticism of like Smallville, for example, was there was too much of the relationship stuff, too much Lana and Clark and Lana, and then the Lois stuff I didn't mind because it's Lois Lane. It's Lois Lane.
Yeah.
But a lot of Lana, and but I don't get the feeling, even though we've only had 2 episodes, that it's going to be any, you know, it's. I don't feel like it's trying to draw in people for some love
Romantic
story.
purposes.
Yeah, romantic storylines. Do you guys agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think there's going to be a lot of times, it seems like, in this show where she's in trouble, or, you know, it's going to put pressure on Jim's life and Jim's career, because I think right now that's the only thing that could hurt him is her.
Yeah.
People can't seem to affect him, but they can affect him by going after her. So I think she's mainly going to be that person where she's going to suffer a lot in that aspect of getting, you know, caught or threatened, and, you know, it's going to put a lot of pressure on him. I think that's what she's going to be there for ultimately, in my opinion, because I don't know how bad The Secret is with Montoya, you know, but
I don't know.
You know, I think in the end that won't be as big as we think it's going to be.
Maybe a little red herring.
Right.
Maybe,
Yeah.
which, just to give those scenes that little spice, maybe.
It'll be that one thing that pops up, you know, during a conversation, and you're like, oh, and then it kind of changes.
The little soap opera-esque moment.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, right.
Sure. Any predictions on when the big wedding episode will be? 50th, 75th, 100th?
That's interesting. There's not. I mean, I think it could be a kind of a pressure that she puts on him as the episodes, as we get more into Gotham and everything starts to kind of settle in. I think we'll get more time for them, and if we do, it could be a thing where she's like, because she did mention when I'm Mrs. Gordon and blah blah blah. So we know she wants that. I think after a while she's like, look, we need to start thinking about getting married, and he's gonna be like, look, I have way too much going on, and that's gonna be a whole thing.
As long as he does finally get that ring and he says that one line, not too bad for an honest cop salary. You know, you hear in like every cop movie.
Exactly.
But the question is too, do we get a baby Barbara Gordon in this? Or Jim Gordon is actually the older. The son is actually older. So do we get that? Because honestly, think about it. Bruce is not that much older. I mean, right now he'd be 12 years older. So yeah, think like at what point do they have a baby?
I think Barbara. I think Barbara is considerably younger than when she comes around. She always
not
struck
in the
me
book
as,
right now.
Oh well, there's different variations. That's true.
Not in the 52.
I always saw her as younger, being Batgirl, and him being a little older, being through I think a couple Robins. That's kind of a weird thing to say.
That was 3 Robins ago, lady. Get
over
back.
it.
Oh, so that's the thing about New 52 is he's gone through the Robins pretty quickly.
Right.
I think it's only been 5 years, and he's gone all the way up to Damian. You know, the 4 Robins. So, you know, it's like you know, it's like Dick Grayson was only Robin for like a year. You know, and then he became Nightwing. So, you know, so Barbara, I think in the New 52 right now, she's kind of in college. You know, early college. So she's 19, 20.
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
You know, and well, Batman's early 30s. You know, so he's only like 10, 12 years older than her right now. So, obviously they're not probably sticking to the comics. But at some point, I in my mind, if this thing goes 7, 8, 9, 10 seasons, I think we gotta have a baby by at some point.
Right.
Oh yeah,
I'd agree.
absolutely.
So
You gotta have a baby.
Gotta have a baby.
Throw some babies in there. Make some babies. Yeah.
Make some babies.
Erin Richards, by the way, is Welsh.
Yes.
Oh,
She's from Wales. She speaks Welsh.
Oh wow.
Try that accent.
I can't even.
I don't even know where it is.
Yeah.
I think Sweden for some reason, but that's not it at all.
It's nice though. It's nice.
Welsh. I don't know.
Let's talk about Selina Kyle. The episode is called Selina Kyle. Like I said, we do finally get to hear her speak. And of course, she's sassing authorities.
Oh, she's super sassy.
She's giving the sass mouth. She's got moxie, that kid. She does. And she like I said in the opening, she has a penchant for witnessing murders. You know, this is her second murder that she's witnessed. And but she's good at getting herself out of jams. I noticed on the scene on the bus, man, she's quiet. She's quiet like a cat.
Yeah.
Like a cat. Getting out there like that. And then using her, just like she told that kid, go for the eyes. He's like, is it bad?
But like...
No, it's just not bad at all. So what'd you guys think about finally getting some young Catwoman action here in this episode?
Great. She's not to be trifled with.
No.
At all. No. Scratching a human male, eyeballs gone. Yeah, no trace of them left.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. She's definitely doing Catwoman things.
Yeah, interesting that they're nicknaming her Cat, but she definitely has the thief tendencies right now, and great to hear her. It took half of this episode to even hear her talk,
right?
But no, she's doing great, Cameron, and she's actually following the show.
She is.
Yes,
so
thank you.
Thank you.
If you're watching.
Yeah. It's, I was going to say weird, but maybe not weird at all, is she looks a lot like Michelle Pfeiffer. She could be her daughter, which she actually said herself in an interview. Like, people always tell me that I could be Michelle. I want to say Michelle Pfeiffer because I watch Key and Peele. Michelle Pfeiffer's, though? Michelle Pfeiffer?
Yeah, those two guys up there.
She looks like Michelle Pfeiffer's daughter, and she does. So maybe that's, I'm sure that didn't hurt with their casting decision. But yeah, I think she's killing it as Catwoman. And we saw there with the locket, obviously a picture of her mother, and there. So that's, and she says she's not dead. She's out there somewhere. So obviously that's going to come into play at some point,
right.
and all this and that. But do you think Jim is going to be able to strike a deal with her and get her out of going upstate?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I think he's gonna use her a lot too, because she's his little.
That's true.
His little, I think his little, I guess not necessarily informant, but informant.
Right.
You know what I mean? Not necessarily like. Whenever it's good for her type thing.
Yeah.
Because that's the way Catwoman always was look, she's
what do I get out of it?
Yeah.
Right.
So, but yeah, it's really cool to see her. I mean, she does. I mean. Really good. That was really good. I mean, just from this episode, really good Catwoman.
Catgirl.
Yep.
So I mean, she's a cat girl.
Yeah,
she's younger. She's
13.
13.
So but that's eyeballs, and then Lily Taylor shooting him in the. This was just such a violent episode, and I mean, it blew me away to see no eyeballs on that man. Like, I didn't think that show was going that way. It made me happy that it was, because I think it's gonna, when my wife watches it, I know, like, and that's when we tie all the way back to when you mentioned earlier, it going in that other direction. And I love that they're doing that, and I was kind of hoping they did. I think we had some talks before it even aired that we were hoping they would bring that in.
Right. Well, we said we were going to save this till the end of the show. We're now going to talk about this. I think it came out today. This is Monday when episode 2 aired. This trailer for season 1. So if you're not wanting to watch it, you probably don't want to hear us talk about it. So bye. Follow the show at Gotham After Show on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, us, 21 Network. Add us on Skype, Gotham After Show. Bye-bye. Still here? Okay, good. So this, I feel like, was the trailer that we deserve. This was like the action trailer, and it did introduce a couple new villains. One was very obvious, which is Zaz.
Yeah,
The other one...
You screamed his name.
Scarecrow? Scarecrow, maybe?
Well, that's interesting. I'm glad you said that.
Because
because we didn't make this... epiphany, if so, on the drive over here.
Right.
Definitely Pig.
Right.
But I also thought Scarecrow at first. But in kind of talking about Dollmaker's past, We think that's Dollmaker, not Scarecrow, with the skin on his face.
Oh, I'll have to go back and watch it because it looked like burlap to me.
It
but
did. It did at
be...
first. It struck me as that, but I don't know.
I really don't know what skin looks like when it dries and is worn as a mask. So.
Well, yeah, think of like chainsaw
I have to watch
massacre.
it again, but they might be trying to throw you off a little bit. And now that we've got Dollmaker introduced, we're obviously going to see him. So I think it's and the fact that he wears skin, on his face, and that's and even in the book, his connection to Joker, kind of adds it a little bit. So I think I have to look at it again, but it's possibly I think that it might be referring to Dollmaker.
Yeah.
But Zaz is clearly a great addition.
And I want to know what Gordon does to get him going after him like that.
Right.
But that was such a cool little. I can't wait to see it on the episode. He's like, "There's 50 cops in here. Make a move."
Yeah, make
that
a
was
move.
just cool because he was standing. It was a very heroic scene for that second because he was standing in front of everybody. It looked like, and me and my brother were actually talking about it real quick. The Gotham station, doesn't it kind of remind you of like Men in Black, like their headquarters? It's really open and like especially the beginning scene in the pilot when everybody was walking.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just weird. I just thought I'd throw that out. It's just an interesting.
Yes, but completely no.
Yeah, but it's just an interesting looking headquarters.
Yeah, no, I love the whole look of the show, but especially that police department. It's so noir, but it's modern day, with cell phones, and that was a big question that I had because in the trailers up till the pilot, we'd never seen like a cell phone or we saw like a big tube TV, but not like a flat screen or whatever. Right. So it's really interesting the choices that they're making set design wise. But yeah, this season 1 trailer is just blown away by it. And now seeing episode 2, it totally makes sense. It seems like this is going to be the pace of the show and the theme and everything, and it's just go watch it anyway. Well, of course we've already talked about it, so it doesn't matter if you stuck around. Just go watch it anyway. Now it's on the official Gotham YouTube page, is where it is, and it's pretty incredible stuff. So I think that'll about do it for us, guys. So you guys have anything else unresolved out there you want to get out to the Gothamites?
Not really. I mean, once again, another great performance by everybody.
Yes.
Throw out Richard Kind as the mayor. That was always, when I first saw it, I was like, that's hilarious.
Yeah, he was the mayor's assistant on Spin City.
Yeah.
Now he's actually the mayor. So good job.
That's true.
Good job
That's
to you.
true.
Good job.
I mean, everybody's doing fantastic. I mean, I can't. I mean,
again, the second episode with, I just feel like there's a lot of there are a lot of background actors in this. I mean, they're spending, however they're spending the money to do this, they're spending it well because they're making it look like a very big production, and the actors are just doing so good. It like you said in the beginning, it feels. I don't know. It feels to me like it was better than the pilot. Like this could have been the pilot, and you would have gotten hooked on just this.
Yes, I can see that. I can see that. Yeah.
But no, I think now that we've seen 2 of them, there is a kind of defined line of direction that these guys are going to go with this show, and I like where it's going.
Yeah.
For sure.
I love the quick little scene with Cory Michael Smith, who plays Enigma, the Riddler.
That was such a weird,
very
so
small
awkward.
scene. Understated, can be almost forgotten about, but what he does.
In fact, I did forget about it.
Yeah, that little smile of his,
He's just,
it's just he has presence. That actor has presence. So good on you. Good on you, Cory. So that does it here for the Gotham After Show. I'd like to thank David Cottingham, Cory Cooley. Hey, you can follow them on Twitter, just individually. dcottingham21, at CooMasterCoo. I'm at ChadPerkins21 on the tweet machines. Follow the show at Gotham After Show on Twitter. Make sure to add us on Skype, where you can send us a video message. Send us one of those, voice message, text message, whatever you want. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/21network. Until next time, which we'll be talking about the Balloon Man. I think we'll get high as we watch that because it's balloons, right? It's balloons. We'll get,
Right.
Don't do drugs,
jokes
kid.
on jokes on
Jokes
jokes.
and jokes. Don't do drugs. Stay in school. Until next time. See you later.